If you went into the FNAF movie not knowing anything, you went into it completely blind, you probably thought that Steve Raglan was just a regular career counselor. But you're wrong. Steve Raglan is actually, spoiler alert, William Afton. Five Nights at Freddy's main overarching villain. You could even say he's the man that started it all. After mistaking an angry father for a kidnapper, Mike beats the guy senseless and results in him quickly getting terminated from his previous security gig, leading him to seek help in employment from Steve Raglan, his career counselor. Steve's personality is pretty monotone, he's pretty down to business, and very cold when talking to Mike. That is until seemingly he looks at his paperwork and finds out that Mike's last name is Schmidt, in which Steve quickly becomes friendly with Mike, offering him coffee and stating that he does have a job for him, which is a late night security gig at a place known as Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. He says the hours are shit and the pay is even worse, but it's a job. Obviously, Mike is very hesitant to take this job right away because he does have to take care of his little sister, but after he thinks about it for a bit, he decides that he does want the job because it means that he can provide for his younger sister. So Abby is set up with Max, Mike's go-to babysitter, while he takes up the job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Big mistake, my guy. Naturally, Steve is really happy to hear from Mike and sets him on his way with his job right away and just runs him down through some of the tasks that he'll have to perform throughout the night. He has to make the place clean and tidy, and also he has to keep people from breaking into Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, watch over the animatronics, and all that other stuff that comes with being a security guard. Interesting thing of note is that Steve talks about Freddy Fazbear's Pizza's history. He says that a couple kids went missing and that no one was able to find them. He also says that the owner feels very nostalgic for the building, and the only reason why it hasn't been given the Wrecking Ball treatment is because the owner isn't ready to let it go. And it's heavily implied that the owner of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is actually William Afton, aka Steve Raglan. And I'll get into why William wants to protect this particular location in just a few minutes because we gotta talk about springbonnie. During the climax of the film, William Afton arrives at the Pizzaplex dressed up as springbonnie in order to take down Mike and Abby. Mike, of course, tries to protect his younger sister, but is quickly overpowered by William Afton in the springbonnie suit. I don't know what it is up with this suit, but it seems like the springbonnie suit gives William Afton superhuman strength because he's able to kick the shit out of Mike. And the only thing that stops William from killing Mike is Vanessa. Vanessa shoots William with her gun, which obviously makes William Afton very angry. He talks to her and says, "You are going to help me clean up the mess that you created. You were supposed to keep him in the dark, but you had to tell him everything." Vanessa then tells William that she will not help him anymore, and she will not help him kill or hurt Abby. And this leads to Vanessa getting stabbed by William. William, for a split second, shows actual remorse and sympathy for what he's done. You can see the color drain from his face. He staggers back as the knife leaves his daughter's abdomen before immediately going back to what he was doing before, which is trying to stop Abby and Michael. During this time, Mike tells Abby to draw a new picture, a picture that only the ghost children possessing the Fazbear Band would understand, that shows them the truth of what really happened with William Afton all those years ago. Naturally, William tries to stop Abby from putting up her picture, but is unsuccessful. She pins up her picture on the wall amongst other pictures that kids have drawn over the years, and the animatronics stop for a moment to look at the drawing, and all is revealed. William goes to try to stab Abby, but Foxy gets in the way, protecting her. William tells Foxy to move, but realizes he's now been surrounded by the animatronics. The animatronics are now facing William with angry looks on their faces and their mouths open wide as if ready to lunge in and take a bite of William. William shouts angrily at the animatronics, trying to get them to listen to him once again, but it doesn't work. He tells them how small they are compared to him, and that they're rotten little beasts and monsters, and that he created them, and that they have to listen to him. The animatronics don't respond to William at all and continue to glare at him angrily until Mr. Cupcake launches towards William, taking a huge bite out of the springlock suit, which is enough to trigger the springlocks and cause William a lot of pain. William sits there and dies, unable to do anything as his body is ripped apart by the springlocks. The animatronics grab William and drag him off into the darkness of the pizzeria. William Afton's death is very slow and indescribably painful, as by the end of the film we can see that William is still clinging to life. The animatronics have taken him to what looks like a storage room in which William is barely alive, suffering in the corner. Now, I know I did say that I would explain why William wanted to protect Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and the answer to this is as a trophy. Serial killers are synonymous with keeping trophies of their various killings. And what a better trophy than an entire location where you committed your most iconic and heinous crime, killing 5 children inside of a pizzeria. And if you don't think William is above keeping trophies, look at Garrett. Garrett, the younger brother of Mike, who was kidnapped by William when they were kids and was never seen again. And William confirms that Garrett was killed by him. In a sickening reveal, via a picture that Vanessa shows Mike that reveals that William is her father, we see a young Vanessa holding the same plane that Garrett had when he was kidnapped, which means this is so sick. It means that William kept the airplane and gave it to his daughter. I can't even tell you how messed up that is. So William, he keeps trophies. The biggest trophy that he could have is the location where he killed a bunch of people and basically got away with it. But when you kill people, cops are going to come looking and investigating, so William had to naturally change his identity, and he started going by Steve Raglan and got himself a job as a career counselor, which worked out really well for William, because he could take people that weren't able to find jobs and trick them into willingly going to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to basically become meat for the grinder. And William himself appears to have control over the animatronics, at least until the end of the film, so for potentially several years, William was doing the same thing over and over again, getting people that were low on their luck when it came to finding jobs, tricking them into getting a job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, only to be killed by the things that he created, so to speak. Life was good for William until it wasn't. Being trapped inside of the suit that he once used to murder innocent children, forever entombed and unable to escape, William will come back as Springtrap in the next Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I guess we'll have to stay tuned until that happens. But with all that being said, this pretty much brings my video to an end, but hey, you can keep the conversation going. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.